All right, guys. Don't know if you guys have heard. We're going to cover it later in the show, but PSA has decided to cut back on some of its submission levels. Personally, what's the longest you guys have ever waited for a card to come back from grading from any company?
1 year
Once, so 12 months. Okay. Jacob?
during COVID.
I don't know, but it feels like Josh has had some of my cards for about a year.
Okay.
Hey, is that a
No, I'd say probably 4 months.
Okay.
I don't submit much. I don't think I'm a good measuring stick for that. Josh, you said a year?
Yeah, during COVID, turnaround times got to a year before they finally cut off all the lower tiers to get caught back up. So
See, I wasn't involved with
we're
it.
in those waters right now.
We
I heard
are.
I heard a 10 million card backlog or something like that.
It
so
is. And like I said, we'll cover that in the opening rip. But a little company called SGC started coming up out of the woodwork during that time and actually got some market share. Well, SGC is owned by the same company that PSA is owned by, Collectors Universe. I mean, is this going to be the second coming of a small company getting some market share now that people are waiting? Are you hearing about that from people that are tired of waiting for their cards coming back from PSA, Josh?
didn't you say SGC's days were over? Wasn't that like a topic we had a while back?
I don't think SGC is going to come back in the same
You're talking
way
about,
because of this. I'm thinking that it's going to be another one. Do you
oh,
think
okay.
it's going to be? Do you think it's going to be your like sort of other favorite, which is Tag, right?
So correct me on if I'm wrong on any of this. I think so. What happens is when PSA announces super crazy long turnaround times, these guys that do this as a business of buying and grading and turning and they're like, well, we got to get this graded somewhere. So all these other companies are getting the dump off from that, and then they can't handle the load. And so I think Tag has even suspended their bulk levels, if I have remembering right. So I think that's going to be what's going to happen too. Is uh, CGC big in the TCG grading scene? Turnaround times are months and months and months for bulk
Yeah.
grade. And that was kind of like the benefit of going with one of those companies over PSA. It's like, yeah, doesn't quite give you the resale value, but you're going to get the cards back a lot faster. Well, now they're so bogged down because of this boom, typically, or with Pokemon specifically, that now even these companies can't handle the load. So I think that's what's going to happen, and everyone's just going to get bombarded, I think.
It's time to start a grading company, guys.
You go
Let's do
for
it.
it, buddy.
Let's
Yeah,
do it.
the tough part is, and a lot of customers will talk about this, is like with the top four, let's say CGC, SGC, Beckett, PSA, with all those guys, and Tag, even with those guys being bogged down, turnaround times being crazy. Do you go with like AGS and GMA? It's like, but they just don't increase the value. So it's like they're between a rock and a hard place. Do I go to a company that can get it back to me quicker, but they're not going to really increase the value of the card? Or do you wait out the long ones? I'm just glad, my income doesn't rely on that like some people's might, but it sucks for getting cards graded. I like to get some of my personal stuff graded. And so,
I'm just wondering, there will be a ripple effect, especially if this is an extended thing. Remember, we had him on the podcast back in the day, Jordan from HGA. We had him. He was a great guy. I saw him at the National. Spent a little bit of time with him when we went to Chicago. But you know, does another grading company come up out of the woodwork? Or does the hobby just wait for this backlog? I don't know, man. I just, for me, 10 million cards and grading, and like I said, I don't want to sort of get into it because we're going to get into it after a little later in the program. But it doesn't make any sense to me that this is happening again, and for me, is it because of the whole TCG thing? I think if you pull that away from this, I think they're at normal levels, right?
Yeah,
Normal.
I think so. Normal for a hobby that's kind of hot right now. Yeah, I think, didn't you tell me or someone told me like last month, normally PSA will do like 1.2 million a month. For a long time, they're kind of, that's how many cards they're grading, 1 million to 1.5 million cards total. I think it was like 1.2 million of just Pokemon alone last month, which then, makes it 3 million cards total because a lot of sports cards get. So it is the TCG side. It's the boom of Pokemon for sure that's doing this. And also the other areas of the hobby are hot right now as well. So yeah, I think it's just going to be, the companies are just, a lot of people are going to pause. A lot of them are going to trickle over to the other grading companies and say, hey, if I can't get it back, if I'm going to get it back in 9 months for PSA, I'll at least get it back in 4 months or 3 months with CGC or someone like that. And so it'd be interesting. We were going to basically work with CGC, maybe have them at the next card show doing in-person drop-offs. You can just drop them off right into CGC's hands. That was kind of agreed upon with CGC a week or 2 weeks ago, but I don't know if this will throw a kink in the works, but
couple things.
Yeah.
See if they'll do comic book submissions while they're there. And when they mess with the bulk pricing and stuff like that or cut it off, do you see an influx of people like going in there and buying one touch, because they're probably not going to be sending off personal stuff? It's probably just sending off stuff to get graded to resell or whatever the other, like, they're not, I don't remember what they're called, but like you can have like custom labels put at the top of them.
Yeah, those first of all, don't tell me what to do. Second of all, just kidding. Yeah, probably
No,
like
not.
sometimes, well, you got to think the percentage of that was for you, Ronnie. Ronnie was like, Josh, I miss you on the podcast with all your little smart aleck remarks. But remember, the percentage of people that grade cards just for preservation and display purposes is so small compared to those that are grading for value. That I think you're right. I think instead of grading this card to have it on display and protect it, some nice Zion mags that are really cool and some other one touches and cases like that probably sell a little better for sure. But I think 90% of people who are grading are doing it for financial reasons. So that's just my 2 cents.
Feels like a lot of our discussions go between collectors versus like people trying to make money in the hobby. There's not like, because I noticed it a lot in my stuff, like back here, like there's not that many people that it used to be really bad, but like it kind of got away from people just collecting for value. It's more so just kind of collect what you like. But sports cards, when I was in there like really heavy, that's all people really cared about. Like you didn't see people building sets or anything. It was like, all right, let's sling a profit.
Yeah. I mean, y'all have heard my soapbox preaching about people that are just in it for the money, but there is that aspect to it. I mean, and I'm not kidding myself. When I was 9 years old and I was buying 87 Topps baseball cards, we were wanting to pull the expensive cards. There's no doubt. It's always been about the value and the money.
Were you wanting to pull the expensive cards for the money part of it or to have a cool card?
I mean, probably to have a card that was worth a lot. But I mean, the worth has to do with selling it too. Like I always say, I don't ever remember going into card shops as a 10, 12, 13-year-old and trying to sell my cards to the card shop. It was always, I want to go to the card shop to shop for cards that I want. Yeah. So there's a difference there. But you go to any of these big shows, it's full of 12-year-olds with backpacks and briefcases that are hustling and flipping cards, and like nothing wrong with that. It's just I liked it better when people collected more as well. I like to do both. Welcome to another episode of the Talking Shop podcast. I am back. I have been MIA for 2 weeks now, it feels like. We're here to talk some shop. I'm Josh from Grand Slam Cards. We got Jacob and Michael. It's Cobb and Medium Rare Cards over on Instagram. Go check them out. We're going to talk some shop with you today, and let's have a good time.
The hobby spent years asking what happens when Fanatics takes over basketball. This week, things, at least on the high end, got a little crazy. A Panini basketball rookie card sold for over $5 million. A Topps basketball card of a GOAT not named Jordan sold for over $1 million. Can't wait to hear what Josh says about that one. On top of that, Topps and Panini both released basketball products this week. Meanwhile, PSA just slammed the brakes on 4 of its most popular grading tiers after citing a 10 million card backlog. If 10 million cards are waiting to be graded, is there an upstart company ready to make a move? As always, we'll hit with what's new in the shop, and Josh will close it out with a crazy stat of the week. But first, let's talk a little PSA here. Josh's favorite grading company. They have announced that they are pausing 4 submission levels due to, like I said, the reported backlog of 10 million cards. This includes Value Bulk, Value, Value Plus, and Value Max. Josh, would you like to break those down for us?
Sure wouldn't.
Lots of value there that we're not getting anymore.
No more value.
In other words, just the lowest tiers.
So what does this leave collectors with? If they have a card that they can maybe plan for not getting back to them for, what's the backlog now? 6 months?
Yeah, for a bulk submission. Yeah.
So let's do this in real terms, right? 6 months from now is what? What month?
October, maybe.
So
November?
November.
So
Yeah,
November.
Almost December.
The NBA season will have just started. Baseball's over, right?
Football's deep.
Football is rolling.
We just came out of Survivor Series.
I just got Christmas presents.
Almost.
And we just did another trade night
At a really sweet new location.
If we're establishing that people are grading to flip for money, now they're having to freaking time this thing to sell at the earliest. If I pull some card and it's got to be, let's just say football, because baseball's over. This is actually, November's the best time to buy baseball because everybody's looking somewhere else. Basketball is in full swing, just starting. Lots of hype around rookies. How are we timing this market to make money if you can't get your cards back quickly? Like, how are we doing this, guys?
My solution is stop collecting for value. Collect because it makes you happy.
Well, I agree. Sometimes you need to collect for the monetary side to help support
Fund it.
Yeah, to help fund it. So some of that. Believe me, a lot of my business is people opening product. I need them to hit big cards.
Yep.
That keeps the money pumping into the hobby.
But Josh, you also say if somebody hits a big card, you're like sell. Like, don't grade it, just get it out there, sell it raw, especially if it's a massive card. We do have a massive card to show you guys that did come back from PSA.
Yeah. We have 2, hang tight till later, but one was pulled from the shop, one was not. We did grade the one that was not, and it came back. Little teaser, it's the biggest grading fee a customer has ever had to pay through us. So stay tuned. We'll show you the cards.
Yeah, stay tuned. So back to my original question, how are people that are grading for value, how are they supposed to time this thing, Josh?
With a little luck and a prayer. Really, the idea too is that with them stopping some of these lower you can't tell me they can predict turnaround times. They don't know. So they stop these 4 smaller tiers they can't know for a fact how many people will stop sending cards because of that. They can probably mathematically assume pretty closely, but in theory, this should help the turnaround times of the cards they already have.
In theory,
you got to think they're going to cut their intake by 75%, right? At least 50%, right? And so,
yeah, I mean, let's just take your shop as like a cross section. If you
and
had
it's like
100,
it's like 90% then.
okay,
Like 90% of our subs are probably in those bulk levels.
the value levels that they've stopped. So 90% of their intake. So at their current capacity, we're looking at getting through the backlog in 8 months before they open this back up. Or do you anticipate them opening this back up slowly in order before they get all the way through the backlog?
Yeah, probably. Like, it's money for them too. They're kind of have to pause some of their income, right? If 75% of the cards stop coming in, that's 75% of income that they're not taking in. So I would think as soon as they get it down to a manageable level, I would think they would start opening some of those back up. It makes you wonder. We don't know these answers. Are they doing some hiring during this process? Maybe that's part of it. Like, we need to train some of these people. Then when we open back up, we've got 500 more graders and we can move through stuff a lot faster. They have to feel like this isn't just a little quick fad that they're going to have to lay 500 people off. And I'm just making this number. I don't know how many graders they have or need, but you would think to speed up 10 million cards wouldn't hurt to have a few hundred more people on staff grading, but you don't want to have to lay them off once you get caught back up either if the hobby were to slow down. But I think it's pretty safe to say the hobby's not slowing down for a while. Those people's jobs are probably pretty safe, unless the job just totally sucks. But
I would love to know. Well, it's CGC that gets a lot of Pokemon, right?
Yes.
I would love to know if they see a massive uptick. Michael, you love keeping track of gym rate. Try and make a note to follow that in the next couple of months. Do you think they're doing this as a way? I mean, obviously, like I feel like we talked about this a few years ago on the podcast to mitigate people sending in just like low level BS grading something for the sake of grading something.
I don't think that's happening anymore. I think the overall card collecting population has gotten smarter about that, and people aren't sent because back in the day grading was what, like $15, and so you get burnt on a couple cards at a $15 level. It's not going to matter. I mean, what's the lowest grading level now, Josh?
Well, they just cut it out. It was 25.
Yeah, it was the bulk.
It's $25 a card. You're not sending in. I don't think they're sending in cards the way they were in 2019, 2020, 2021. I think that's over. The thing that's frustrating to me is that I'm looking at an organization that worked their way out of this mess the first time, and now they're back in it. And there's some smart people. There's AI now. I don't know how they didn't see this coming. And to me, it's just another middle finger to the hobby. I'm sorry. It's like they either they didn't see it coming. One, they saw it coming and they're doing this as an excuse to raise prices again. Or three, they're sitting here thinking that they can just pull the hobby's chain anytime they want with no repercussion because everybody's still going to go running back to PSA.
Mm-hmm.
And either way you look at it, I would just think that an organization like this would be run better. I'm sorry.
I agree. You would think also that Backyard Break stiffs a couple customers and it would scare off their clientele either, but it doesn't matter. It's their idiotic customers just flock right back to them. So,
Michael, something you said brought up a good point in my head. And it's one of those things. Like, if PSA can't figure it out, how do some of these other companies figure it out? It'd be like if all of a sudden Walmart's like, look, we're done doing whatever they're doing. It's like, well, crap, Walmart can't figure it out. How's a mom and pop shop going to keep it together?
Well,
Like if PSA
it's
can't
different.
fix the problem this big that keeps happening.
I mean, Beckett and the other companies don't run into this because they don't have the scale. Like, I mean, you're talking all the other grading companies combined don't even sniff what PSA does in a month. So it's just a different monster when you get to $1.2 million, $1.4 million a month. But the fact that they haven't wrestled this bear to the ground yet is concerning to me. Add that on top of their poor customer service. Add that on top of this phantom charge of the more expensive the card is to grade, the higher they're going to charge you.
Yeah, that's crazy. We'll get into more of that when you hear about the grading fee for this card that we sent for a customer that we got back today. But you'll just face palm it when you hear it. But yeah, I mean, it's they're the king of it, and it's just they just can't be dethroned, and it's strange. You would almost respect that if it was a well-run company with great quality control, great processes. Then you'd be like, you know what? Y'all deserve to be the king. But they're just laughably inept sometimes.
Yeah, they just keep stepping into their own crap, and then people put up with it. It's
yep. If they hadn't damaged my LeBron rookie refractor, maybe I'd be a little more generous to them. But they took my card that was a 9 or a 10, sent it back to me as a 7, and that's a big card that they just hosed me on. So
take that. PSA.
Now we know where the drama started.
Yeah, that's where it started for sure. It didn't help when they did it to my Herbert, but that was only like $100 rookie card. The $10,000 LeBron card is where I got bent out of shape. They turned it into an $800 card. Still bitter, yes. Okay. A card got pulled from the shop today. We'll show it a little bit later in the pod, so stick around. The customer got turned down a $25,000 offer for it today. Stay tuned.
I saw some video of you hopping up and down in the shop.
Yeah, that video's got like 8,000 views.
Was that a real poll? Or did you guys just?
Yeah, no, that was a Pokemon poll. Yeah, I went. If you watched, jumped, and I went for the high five, and he went for the hug,
the body, and
then we started to hump each other in the air, and
that could be anybody on there.
Yeah,
Josh,
yes.
Tell us what's new in the shop and what's coming to the shop.
Can do, Michael. All right. So launching today is the highly anticipated first time for NBA Topps Signature Series basketball. This is the hobby version with 2 autos per box. There's a jumbo version on the shelves with 4 autos per box. And we have blasters also. I think you'll get a kick out of this. So Topps releases Signature Series basketball today on Thursday when we recorded. Wednesday, Panini released their Signature Series basketball a day before. Oh, you think there's some bad blood there, maybe? So this is one of the first non-licensed basketball products to be released. This is the debut edition. There's only 5 cards a box, 1 autograph, sealed in a mag. But check this out. I think this is a sign of some things to come in future Panini products. Look what you can pull out of this product.
I saw that.
So you got to think that Panini's going to maybe juice up a few of their products with some kabooms, downtowns, maybe some stained glass, some other ideas. Just a thought. I like it. So don't totally sleep on that. This was yesterday. Always a big one in the shop. One of the best unlicensed baseball products we ever sell. Donruss Baseball. That came out yesterday. So we still got that on the shelf. By the time this airs, I don't know if we'll have it on the shelf. And if they give me a reload, that will be the case. Leaf Metal Baseball. This is the hobby version with 5 autographs per box, 10 total cards, and the jumbo version, 20 total cards, 10 autographs per box. So for some baseball, those are on the shelf as well.
Are those pretty reasonable, like most of their products?
Yeah. Like the hobby, I think, is like $169 and the jumbo is like $289 or something like that. This is really
versus what for the Donruss baseball.
Donruss is as high. I'm only $5 higher than Panini Direct. Panini Direct was $175 a box. I'm at $180 a box. So, and it's selling well. Check this product out. This is Wild Cards Fantasy Football Adam Punk Mammoth 1 of 1. One Mammoth 1 of 1 Adam Punk themed card. I did open one today. If you would like to see what one of those cards looks like,
1,000%.
I got Derrick Henry here.
That
is
actually
awesome.
Pretty cool.
That is so cool.
I'm ready to see some more get open so I can see who else is in this and what the cards look like. But those are cool. $19.99 a pack. So not expensive either. I got an entire case. Guess how many comes in a case?
10.
75.
Michael? 100. I have 99 packs of those on the shelf after I open them. Isn't that crazy? So
I might be PayPaling you tonight.
Cool.
Coming soon. So maybe by the time this launches, this will be very close. But next week is, let's look at a list here. Donruss basketball. So maybe the second unlicensed Panini basketball product out. I don't have this coming, Jacob. Don't shoot the messenger, but Cosmic Chrome WWE. That would be awesome.
I'm used to it at this point.
I know. I'm like, come on, Tops. I'm like, there is a TriStar Hidden Treasures autograph football mini helmets. Those come out. We all have those. Those actually come out tomorrow. I think I have those coming very soon, if not by tomorrow. Select League One Soccer. Did I say that right, Michael?
Yes.
Okay. And next week, 2 big baseball products. Topps Chrome Platinum. Remember that one? It's got that chromed out vintage look to it. Always sells well, never lasts long, then you never see it again. And then we talked about this being signature class basketball today. Next week, signature class football, licensed Topps next week. So my credit card does not get a break, and neither do you. And then a Yu-Gi-Oh product, Battles of Legend, Glorious Gallery. So lots of stuff on the shelf. My shelves are loaded, so come to Grand Slam, and more stuff coming all the time.
Let's take a quick look at the 2 signature series products. And don't sleep. Did you got both of these? Don't sleep on this Panini one. It actually looks pretty cool. So, Jacob, can you pull up the Panini product first? And so the box is underwhelming to me, but some of these card layouts look pretty good. It like the very first one has a bit of like a Flawless or National Treasures feel to it. So look at that. Or even like Impeccable. Remember Impeccable, Josh? I don't know if they even have that product anymore, but
that looks great.
That looks awesome. Keep going, Jacob. And so, licensed or not, they're doing a great job. Like this, you wouldn't see any of the logos there. So this looks licensed to me because it's an NIL product.
That's a pretty cool card.
Yeah. So this is that Panini product.
Yeah. And they do a great job on the non-licensed jerseys of kind of hiding the, they did a better job than Topps. No offense, Topps, but like look at that, the ball right over the jersey.
That's cool.
It's a pretty cool card too.
Cover athletes to where it looks like a magazine cover.
That's not bad.
Look, using the back of the jersey. Yeah, great card design. And if you can get kabooms in there too, here in a couple pictures you'll see. But
Yeah, this looks like impeccable to me. That's what this looks like.
And this is only $199 a hobby box, by the way.
And so this is a bit of a sleeper, right? They are when you hear unlicensed basketball. Now we're big fans on this podcast of unlicensed product, but I think this is would be a very cool rip.
I keep saying it, and people sometimes I can tell they disagree silently, but Panini's going to be just fine selling unlicensed product. The way that we sell Donruss and Prizm and Select for baseball, it's going to be affordable. Look, Signature Series basketball, it's like $600 a box, and the unlicensed Panini is $200 a box. So, I mean, the ceiling prices are way different as well. I'm aware of this, but
let's take a look at that Topps Signature Series.
I think if Leaf is surviving with what they're doing, I don't think Panini has too much of an issue. They're not going to be what they were.
Yeah, I mean, I think Panini's are a little higher than Leafs probably, so there's some of that.
Right, but I'm saying if everybody's Leafs still in business doing pretty good, Panini should be fine. Here's the Topps Signature. So we had what? Signature Series and we had Hoops so far in the last couple of months that both of them have put out.
So a couple things. These cards are gorgeous. Number one. Number two, bringing back the acetate card. I know that there's some acetate autos here. So if you scroll through these, Jacob, these are beautiful.
Oh, yeah. And I was teasing a big pull. A big pull came from this product today. Probably one of the bigger pulls in the product from Grand Slam. We'll show you that card in a little bit.
That backyard breaks allocation. Usually all the hits go to them, right?
Yeah, we do all right here at the old Slam.
I think so.
All right. Now we are at that time for the giveaway. So thank you, Jason, who is a sponsor of the podcast over there at Jason's Trash and Treasures on eBay. Good friend of the shop, has donated the same giveaway as last week. It is a Cooper flag and a Con Knipple rookies out of Topps. So come into the shop after watching this podcast. You'll hear the magic word here in a moment. Just tell us that secret word, and this can be yours for free. The secret word this week. All right. Coming close here. Come tell us the word knowledge. Knowledge. You come in and tell us that word before anyone else does. And this, my friends, will be yours. Thank you for watching the podcast. And thank you, Jason, for sponsoring. And now, if you've ever thought about getting a card graded, now's the time. Here's a word from our sponsor. Me. Are you looking to get your cards graded? Well, here at Grand Slam, we've simplified the process of submitting and getting a card graded. All you have to do is drop off your cards and kick your feet up, while our transparent tracking ensures that you are up to date with every detail along the way. When you log into our website, you'll immediately be greeted with each card in the grading process, along with where it's at in the process and its final grade. And with over 1,000 submissions and some of the top cards across the country being submitted through us, we have become a well-trusted source to handle and submit your cards. So you can do more collecting and leave the chore of grading to us. So don't sit on grading your cards. Get them submitted today at Grand Slam, where grading's made easy.
All right, so we teased it a little bit in the cold opener, the intro. Wemby is reminding everyone why Panini still matters. We had a massive Wembanyama Black Prizm 101 sold for over $5 million. This is from this is a PSA 10 of the 2023 Prizm card. We'll go ahead and pull this up. This is the one that everybody was kind of clowning on with the black curtain with the black border and everything.
I think it looks great. I mean, you could say that's his best rookie card, non-auto, period. There's no argument. He's got a Topps Chrome one, but it's non-licensed. This is the top of the food chain for his non-auto rookie card. Now, whether it's worth $5 million or not, that's, again, we've talked about it before. The people that are buying these, money's not an option if you can spend this on it. And so this is either a business expense, or it's just not a big amount of money for someone that's got this deep of pockets. And so it's more about saying you own it. It's worth $5 million to someone to say they own it, knowing that there's a good chance it won't lose value, could increase in value. And if it were to all go belly up, this person who owns it is rich enough to not miss it, probably. It's my take.
I think it comes out that it's that Kevin O'Leary group that's gobbling these things up. So
Wouldn't
it's a
surprise me.
conglomerate so that they could spread the risk across several owners.
Yeah. Wouldn't surprise me, for sure.
So I'm in the minority here, literally and figuratively. I don't like the look of I don't like the look of this card. The black on black, the curtain. For this, the eye appeal for this card for me, I think, like you said, the value of it is questionable. But I think 20 years from now, this is an ugly card. Cards are getting so good looking now. The designs are so good. This, to me, is middle of the road at best.
Well, like I said, I remember people like on the podcast a couple years ago, like people were clowning this because like we at least some sort of action shot or the guy just standing there on the court or something. But like this is black background, black jersey, black board.
I like the card design a lot. I don't like maybe the pose they chose. I don't think it's, terrible, but I've always just, we've always talked about why is a more of an emphasis not put on the photography in any card. There's a few brands that really focus on it. Why isn't that like not a top-notch priority in all cards, the poses and the pictures? But I think this card looks super clean. I think it'll hold the test of time. I think it'll have a nostalgic throwback time to when Prizm was what it was. And regardless, it doesn't matter what it looks like. There's only one of this card. Brady's hasn't been pulled supposedly, or is it still floating around out there? Luca's, I think, right? Still floating around out there. So they're Black Prizm one-of-ones. So agree to disagree, but that's why this is a great place. I can hate you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Jacob, talking to you. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. But I desperately need Wemby to win tonight. And by the time this podcast goes out, you will all know whether or not it's the Spurs or the Thunder going to the finals.
$5 million. My goodness. Good luck to whoever purchased this card. I don't think it's going to be worth that much in 5 years.
You know what that means, though, is that if Luca's surfaces, this is the floor for that card, right? Yeah. I mean, unless Wemby wins a ring this year, then I think you could put him ahead of Luca. But I think right now, Luca, you could potentially put him ahead of Wemby as far as value and card values. And if the Brady 101 2012 Prizm ever gets found, that thing would be monstrous.
Yes.
Well, since Josh wanted to defend the Wemby card so much, let's see if he can defend this next card just as much for us here today. Let's talk about this LeBron James card that was sold for $1.2 million. Josh, how do you feel about this one?
I mean, it just doesn't make sense. It's kind of like, we've had this conversation, why is Tom Brady's 2025 Topps Chrome auto bringing in 5 figures, the same amount as his rookie auto? It makes no sense. But again, These go to people that have super deep pockets and that just want to own it, and this is not a ton of money for them. But yeah, I don't understand it for sure. Like, I just want someone to tell me what makes this card so much more valuable than a low numbered rookie card. And I know there's only one of this, but he's had one of ones for years now that don't bring big money.
So
Huge money.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Up until recently, it was Upper Deck that had his autos, right? So this is his first Topps autograph.
No, he had that in unlicensed 2024 Topps. So you could only say this is his first licensed Topps Chrome auto in 10 years. But I know he's got Topps autos back when Topps had the license, because prove me wrong.
I think it was Upper Deck.
It was not an Upper Deck. It was. Yeah, let's go, Michael.
I will say this though, kind of piggybacking off what Michael was saying about the last one. I feel like visually this is just a better looking card. I love the Prizm design. I know it got some flack the last couple of years, but I like the Prizm design. But this is night and day different.
Infinitely better looking card. I mean, if we're treating these cards as works of art, because that's the price tag, infinitely better looking as far as how it presents.
Yeah, I mean, infinite is a little exaggeration, but I agree it looks better. But the Wemby one is not. Well, Wemby one is not priced based on its appearance. It is priced purely because it is rookie and it's Prizm 1 of 1. There's only one of it. And it's
with that logic, sit with me for a second. You can cut this out if you want to, Michael. If we're putting the Wemby with this LeBron here, and I know none of us here like LeBron, this feels like combining a Picasso painting, the high valuable one that looks kind of mid, and then you have like, we all know Thomas Kincaid, right? Mm-hmm. Just something that just looks nice building, whatever, but just doesn't fetch that kind of money. That feels like what we're comparing. Like 1.2 is still a lot of money here. But that feels like the comparison we're trying to make.
You're comparing Picasso's first original painting with his 500th. Even if there's only one of each, it's his first. I win.
I'm talking visually here, Josh.
But here's the thing.
You're not wrong. This is a better looking card.
In 5 years, this card's worth more than the Wemby.
I mean,
is that true or false?
I think false. I think people are buying these at this price based purely on brand new Topps Chrome hype. And after Topps Chrome has been in the game for a while, I think these lose a little bit of their luster. It'll never be a cheap card. That's just my prediction. I also think that's based on the fact that Wemby is going, barring anything weird, is going to win a couple rings. At least one, and be in the dance a bunch of times. But who knows?
Speaking of that 5-year timeline, do you think LeBron is still playing in 5 years?
In 5, no. I think he's got 2 more, maybe.
He'll probably go back to Cleveland for a swan song and then call it.
I think if he was smart, he would do that.
You guys want to talk some Mickey Mantle?
Yeah, we need to talk about that. Yep.
Do you want me to show the photo here? Because it's literally just a redemption.
Yeah, show it. Go ahead and show it.
Okay. Pop that up. All right, let's see. How long ago did the Top Series 1 come out?
February?
3 months, 4 months, yeah.
So after only a few months, we finally have the Mickey Mantle redemption card from 2026 Top Series 1.
Finally.
Finally.
Let me guess. A young boy pulled it in his hobby box for his birthday.
His dying wish was
His dying wish.
that blaster on the shelf.
Yeah. I wonder. So I have a few questions. I don't know if y'all, do we know, it says it's graded, but do we know what it's graded? Because I don't think we do, right? So it's probably graded like authentic. That's probably what it is. But
Interesting.
Does it
Okay.
matter?
still a win. No, it doesn't matter. That's my first question. Second question is, where was it pulled from and out of what type of product?
Ooh.
Because, again, just like the Skeens debut patch that had a lot of suspicion around it, why is the card shop not getting shouted out unless it was bought at Dick's or Walmart or something? But
Ooh.
I want to know what type of product this came out of.
Yeah.
So
Flip through the next photo there, Jacob, if you could. What does that next one say?
There's not a next photo.
Oh, there's not a next photo. Okay.
That's just I'm assuming the
It's a
eBay
screenshot.
listing. Yeah, or
It's a
whatever.
that's it. Like, people are bidding on that without knowing the grade, which is kind of,
That's
Yeah.
I saw that too, and I'm like, what is going on? Come on, folks.
Mm.
I think it's either going to be a 2 or a 3.
I think it's going to be graded authentic without
Authentic.
a number. That's just
So,
my
What
prediction.
kind of price difference are we talking there, Josh? You know more
Huge.
about this than
Well,
we do.
Yeah, I mean, it's,
Huge.
I think a 1 is like what, 10 or 20 grand, and a authentic would be probably the same
Yeah.
because it could
There's
be
no chance that it looks like some kid out of the 50s had this in their bike spokes and it looks terrible.
I think I think that would be too bad of an image. I think the very least they can do is a decent looking authenticated one. And the reason it's authenticated only and not graded is probably because it's got some sort of a sizing issue or something maybe. But I mean, it's still a Mickey Mantle rookie out of a cheap product. So
When they announced this, I thought it was genius. For this to be one of the
they need to-
chases, they need to do it again. And I wonder if they're going to just keep moving forward. So next year it'll be 1953 tops, 1954 tops. They do that sometimes.
I
But
bet they just grab like an Otani, rookie at some point, a graded 10 tops chrome. I mean, well, I guess it's got to be bigger than that, but I don't think they'll do the sequential thing. I think they'll just stick a couple unique chasers like this in each one. And think of how easy it is. You just print up a redemption card of any card that you grab anywhere you want, at a card show, through an auction, out of a collection, anything. Just grab a high-end card that anyone would love to own. It's going to be, it's going to be like really iconic cards too. Great idea. They need to keep doing.
Yeah, I think they need to stay away from modern. I think the fact that this is a vintage card, they need
Sure.
to keep playing that song. Get that modern collector interested in the vintage cards, making it a vintage chase, like a nice vintage Willie Mays or a Hank Aaron or something.
Yeah.
And then maybe, I don't know if there's a big anniversary coming up for tops,
Yeah. Or like
could you
Jackie
imagine
Robinson.
like a Jackie oh my goodness, a Jackie Robinson, a Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
I mean, that
you could even do it with memorabilia. If they wrangle up a Babe Ruth signed ball that's authenticated, you stick a redemption card in it for it. So there's a lot of things they can do. If only they had the money to afford it.
Yeah.
Come on, Tom.
And I know, Michael, you said like try and go vintage or something, but like this is just the only example I could think of. Like a couple years ago, like Albert Pujols retired. Like maybe throw like a cool rookie Albert Pujols as something you could possibly pull in a baseball product.
Yeah, a nice high-end one or something.
Especially if you have something from the previous year you could throw in there, like somebody retiring, setting a record, or something like that.
Yeah, I just think this works so much better when this is a vintage card. Go back to that real quick. Real quick. Could you imagine if you And I doubt they'd have any breaks, team breaks, for this product 3 months. Could you imagine pulling the Yankees in a team break for Top Series 1 and then getting this? Oh my gosh, I'd lose my brain.
Yeah.
Something tells me you wouldn't get it.
Yeah, something tells me you better trust the breaker.
It might stay in Florida.
Exactly. For a while, but it's hits from the shop. And Josh teased a couple cards when we opened the episode. Hit us with that, Josh.
All right.
I've already forgotten what these cards were.
So this is the card that was not pulled from the shop. So the only reason we're showing this off is because the customer graded it through us. Came back today. Customer picked it up, and the customer had the largest grading fee we've ever had for a PSA card. The previous fee was a Paolo Banchero gold number to 10 Kaboom that got a PSA 10. It was pulled from the shop. It was graded through the shop. We got it back. The grading fee was $1,000 for that Paolo card. And a lot of strong opinions on PSA charging these humongous upcharges for essentially doing the same thing you would do to a $10 card. Granted, they do have to insure these cards when they ship back, so there is a higher cost there, but it's not $1,000. So this one has now beat that grading fee by triple the price. The grading fee for this card was $3,000 for one card to get graded. Jacob, throw the card up there on the screen. PSA values this card at roughly $30,000. This is out of this year's finest. The Anthony Edwards Headliners Superfractor, 1 of 1, got a PSA 10. Well, surprise, surprise, right? Of course, if PSA slaps a 10 on it, they can charge you $3,000 to grade it. So another conspiracy theory there, but it is a very clean card, so it could have legitimately been a 10. But yeah, I believe the Steph Curry of this same card sold for $58,000, and so this is probably a little under that. So I think a safe bet is $20,000 to $50,000, somewhere in there. But congrats to the customer. Thank you for trusting us with it, letting us grade it for you. It's now in good hands and probably going to go to a big auction site if I had to guess. I don't know that for sure. The second card was pulled today. The customer sent me a picture of it. The customer turned down $25,000 for this card out of the brand new Signature Series Topps Basketball. Throw that picture up there, boys. It is the 1 of 1 Superfractor Luka Doncic. So this is not an insert, which makes it juicier. This is the Superfractor of the base card. Huge card. So the customer is strongly debating on flying it to PSA. There's some Superfractors of his from Topps. I think there's a Topps Finest one out there. They're worth a ton of money. So turned down $25,000 because I think there was some comp for 40 or 50 on a card similar. So who knows? But that is a monster card and probably the biggest card of the year pulled from Grand Slam, I would think. So I told him, bring it in the shop tomorrow. Let me get a nice, juicy Grand Slam picture of it, and we'll pump it on the medias and get some attention for it. So
awesome. Well, guys, if you guys have made it this far, thank you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, leave a review. Josh, you have a crazy stat for us?
I have a crazy stat. I took me and the wife took some kids of ours to bowling the other day. We went and got the boys out of the house, did some bowling in the arcade there in Rock Hill. As we were bowling, the stat came up on the digital screen. Did you know that Lynn Swann is a member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame and the Pro Bowling Hall of Fame? Did you know that?
Did not.
I did not know that until I saw that stat. And I thought, you know what? That'll make a great stat for the podcast. So there you are. Lynn Swann is a good bowler.
Awesome. Well, Josh, we know that these days are long for you, so appreciate the time. Jacob, thank you for producing as always. And guys, thanks for watching and listening. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Peace.